Hey there, everybody. All right, this is something new. If you have tuned into the channel, I am coming live to you from the kitchen because, all right, we got it going on. I'm trying to get on Instagram too. We're coming live to you from the kitchen because I just wanted to change up the setting, but also I think it's going to you're going to get the message a lot better if I'm in the kitchen telling you this information, right? So, welcome. It's Dr. Nicole. I am your boundaries and feminine energy queen. And if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for my masterclass that's coming up this Sunday, Banish Burnout and Build Bliss. You will find the link in the show notes. And if you're on Instagram, you'll find the link in my bio. Okay. So, why am I in the kitchen, right? I want to talk about, and I'm on my way to get my kids, but I always come to my kitchen before I go get my kids. It's a way for me to recenter myself. It's a way for me, I'm getting my tea here. It's a way for me to um, literally pour into myself. And it's a way for me to start planning what I want to cook. And I would say I cook 5 to 6 nights out of the week. And cooking for me is, I was talking to my husband about it. It's a mindful, it's first of all, it's nourishing because we need nourishment. It's a mindfulness thing because when I'm cooking, I am in a zone. At most, we even have a TV over there. That's more so for if my mom is over or the kids want to look at something. But really, at most, I might be listening to something like a podcast or something like that, or listening to a book. But mostly, I am fully present, and it doesn't matter. I'm cooking for a long time, like I'm setting. It's an elaborate meal, or if it's something quick, and I usually try to plan out my meals. So tonight is Friday night. We eat out usually on Thursday nights, but Friday, I have a light day. We're just chilling. We'll do something fun. The kids love homemade fries or chicken tenders or something like that. And I much rather make those things myself. Is my tea, right? Um, oh, which by the way, this is the mug, one of the mugs that they got me for Mother's Day. But I would much rather do those things, cook those things myself than to cook those, get that like somewhere else. And these days, actually, the way they cook food is it's too much oil. Even some of your places that seem a little nice, like you really have to go to a very, very nice high-end restaurant to get really good quality food. A lot of these places, and I can't even think of some of the names now, they have gone downhill. They're really going downhill. The oil, they put a whole bunch of salt. And because I cook so much with all of my own spices and seasonings and things like that, let me see. I use a lot of coriander. I use a lot of cumin. I use a lot of paprika. I use cloves. I use bouillon cubes. I use my fresh scallions, green peppers, all of these things. A lot of these restaurants are not going to do that. What they're going to do is put just a bunch of salt or flavoring or what else do they put? A lot of just preservatives, chemicals, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. I'm not saying never eat out, but I think since COVID, both service and quality have gone way down. So if we're gonna have chicken tenders, I rather make my own. I know exactly what's in it, and the key thing is oil. Oil makes a big difference. I use a lot of olive oil, but if you're making something at high temperature, now don't tell me I ran out. Something at high temperature. Oh, I'm glad I'm on here with you guys. I have to go get some more. If you're making something at high temperature, you can use avocado oil. A lot of these vegetable oils and what is it, canola oil, it's GMO, and a lot of these vegetable oils are actually not good for us, and they contribute to like blood insulin, what's the word I'm looking for? Like your blood sugar, insulin resistance. That's the word, insulin resistance. So even though there's a lot of people that have diabetes that are not diagnosed, or they're pre-diabetic, they don't know it, or they're insulin resistant. They're wondering why, like they always feel tired during the day. They have all these symptoms. It's a big thing in in a lot of cultures, in Western cultures, in American society. So the oil you cook with is a big deal, and so that's one of the reasons I'd rather cook. Right? Not to say I never eat out. Right? Last night we had takeout. I actually went to Whole Foods and did the buffet. They have a buffet, so I got different little platters, and then we all, put it together as a family. But cooking is like a big part of staying healthy, not only physically though, right? I'm telling you all about the oils, the spices, the taste. You have your own pans. I got this from my grandma when you cook with your cast iron pans. But it's also about feeding into your mind, because mindfulness, if you ever look at anything I tell you, learning to ground yourself in the present moment without all of the criticism and the self-doubt and judging yourself, just being present, that is a powerful tool for creating more balance in your life, and getting rid of burnout and overwhelm and feeling like your mind is racing a mile a moment. Well, some people, it's hard for them to really get into mindfulness at first. Meditation, they feel like, oh, by the way, I have my Damsel Me Please shirt on. So if you haven't already, make sure you order it from my store. Damsel Me Please. It's like we're putting a whole spin on the damsel in the stress concept, damsel in distress. So a lot of people, when they first try to get into meditation, it's difficult for them. And they're like, my mind is going right. But sometimes, if you can do something where you're in the present, that is a step, that is a type of mindfulness. There's mindful eating, there's mindful cooking. And it's a step towards, if you want to learn to practice meditation and, more fully. When you're cooking, you're having to do different things, right? You got to get organized in the beginning. I like to have all my spices out. I need to know what I'm making, what oil am I using, my pots and things like that. So it requires you to kind of step away from other things and be focused in this moment. Then it requires you in the moment. And when my kids come, I like them to help, but I say, you come, you help, or we can chit chat a little bit. It's not a bunch of playing games, flipping, and all that, because we need to focus on what we're doing. So you're really in the moment, because there's a lot of moving pieces, right? A lot of the dishes I cook, I'm not just cooking one thing, or the dishes have different things you have to do, different steps. So you have to be in the moment. So I say cooking is so powerful for you mentally. And my husband was like, you know what? I love when you cook, because I know it's a form of stress release for you. So I want you to reframe or rethink about how you view cooking and being in the kitchen. Make your kitchen your happy place, right? I got my kitchen redone, but even before that, I made it my happy place. Make it a place that you enjoy being. And for us, the kitchen is also, it's that central place. And I just got back a few weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, from Senegal. We were there visiting my husband's family. And one of the things is like the cooking, it was a social thing too. You gather around the kitchen, right? And that's how it is in my house. Even if they're not cooking, people want to come. It's a central place. They're over there in the living room, or they're sitting in the dining room, they can call me. But it's a place where we can be social, but also if you're alone, you can really um, be in the present, focus, and have fun. Like I said, I'll have something on, listening to my podcast, listening to my own videos, getting gems from those, and just enjoying myself. So I'm going to give a challenge to you all, and think about, so first of all, you're going to save a lot of money. Secondly, you're going to pour into your health just by changing your oils and knowing what kind of oil, cutting down on all the sodium, because you can Even it's not, I'm not saying don't use salt. Of course I use salt, but I get to see what's in it versus them, the restaurants, they're just pouring salt and sodium and flavor enhancers and all this stuff, coloring. So you get to eat more clean when you cook, and you also get to have more clarity in your mind because if you practice mindful cooking, try to be present. At most, you might be listening to something, but really try to be present and enjoy it and notice, right? Don't use it to like just totally drift off. Like, notice, oh, wow, okay, this is my coriander. Wow. This is why I like my Cajun seasoning. It brings a different color. Get into the colors and the textures and all of those kind of things. Okay. So I actually got my stuff out for the next meal. Okay, I'm just seeing the comments here. Okay. You guys said yes, people always come and look in the kitchen when you are cooking. Yes, try avocado oil. There's no taste. So it's good and it can withstand higher temperatures. Okay. Um, yes, it's hard to meditate. So do something where you can be present, focused. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing the comments here. And what kind of, I'm a clinical psychologist. So I have a PhD. I'm a PhD in clinical psychology. So I'm a licensed psychologist. And so I try to practice what I preach. I have a private practice, the Center for Healing and Development. You can follow that page, which is Chad. And I also run coaching, group coaching programs, and I help women to tap into their femininity and their healthy boundaries. Okay. Hey. All right. So I'm so glad you joined this video. Make sure you go to the link in my bio and sign up for my free masterclass on Sunday. We get into other things that you can do to incorporate that mindfulness, that presence, and grounding yourself. Okay. So banish burnout and build bliss, and cooking is one way that you do it. So make sure you go to the link in my bio and you sign up. Did I miss any other comments? You said you like Italian. Yes, my kids love when I make spaghetti, but I have to do it my own. I make my own sauce. I have all of my spices and everything like that. My daughter actually loves black eyed peas. If I make beans, she's like, Mommy, did you make black eyed peas? So just experiment with things and and you will feel so feminine. You will feel like it is, you're creating and you're getting creative. You're putting different things together. You're present. You're more relaxed is really helpful. The other thing I like to do for snacks is I like, those Starbucks bites, egg bites, they have bacon in them. I don't eat bacon, but I do my own. I put cottage cheese, I put Gouda cheese, little green peppers, scallions, and you bake them in a muffin sheet. And you just have them like for protein in the morning or little snacks throughout the day. It's really, really good. So I'll do a video where I show you guys that I'm making that. Okay. All right. So let me go pick up the kids. Yes. Okay. All right. Make sure. Last stuff, I'm trying to look at the name here. Okay, make sure you sign up for the link in my bio. And okay, I'll put the recipe. Check my stories, you guys, and I'll put the recipe in my stories and I'll do a little video. Okay, so I'm going to log off now. Time to get the kids. And I hope to see some of you all at the masterclass, link in my bio, or if you're on YouTube, in the show notes. And I'll see you next time from the kitchen. Peace out.